Right, as promised, we're going to make some fruity pendants now. So I thought this time, rather than go for the sort of greens, the kiwis and things like that, or the oranges. We did oranges and lemons a lot last time, didn't we, when I made the beads? So I thought this time we'll go for more the pinky colours and reds. So we'll give that a go. And while we're at it, I'm going to revisit firstly the origami paper one, and that is simply because I've been asked for one. So while I've got the mould out, I might as well make it. And the other thing I thought we could try was the nail art flakes. I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with chameleon flakes from firms like Let's Resin and whatever. Let's see what the nail art versions are like. And just for a bit of fun, I've got some, this is an assortment of just mylar flakes. So I thought we could chuck some of those in. Right, all we're going to need today then is obviously our inclusions. I'll put you links for these down below. I've had these for years. If this firm still exists, I will link them. If not, I'll find something similar. We're going to be using this little mould, which I'll also link below, and I will also link you the resins. Now, I'm using the normal Let's Resin ultraviolet curing resin today. They do also, which I might use for doming afterwards. They do a high viscosity one as well. Or rather Jade Diction do, and I'm finding that rather good because it's good for doming surfaces, so I might end up using some of that as well. We'll see how we go. Right, our first step, very simple, these so easy to make, is to get some resin in there and cure it. And this is if you can get it to come out of your bottle. Let me just see if I can find a bottle top. That has obviously been near the window. Tell you what, we'll use the thicker one. I'll look out another bottle later. Let's go straight in with a thicker one. Right, now if we pour some of this in, as you can see, this is a lot thicker than normal ultraviolet curing resin. So I am going to leave it a few minutes to settle. That's going to have the paper in. So actually that one's going to need quite a bit. Oops, she says, it's going everywhere. What I don't want is for the inclusions to be flat against the silicone of the mould, you see. So, the rest will only need a little bit, which I'm going to brush around, because we're going to do this in layers. This resin, because it's a lot thicker, you don't have to squeeze it hard. I have got some spare bottle tops somewhere, so I'll go back to the other one. Normally I would use the regular one for this sort of pour. As I said, this one's thicker and it's primarily to make it easy to dome with. So that's those. Now what we're going to be trying is with these is onto resin surfaces, but also straight onto the mould. So let's go for it. I've tried to clean this brush up. I think it's clean. While those are settling, let's get the flakes into these. I'm going to let them settle well before I go ahead and put the ultraviolet light on it. This one has got, where's my tweezers? This one's got a top on it, hasn't it? Let's get that off. Oh no, it hasn't. That's just how it behaves. Okay. Well, we've now got plenty in the mould on the bright side. So this one, yes, I'm pushing it onto the mould, much like you would with the powders. And this mould does seem to take this sort of thing very well. I don't think you get such a clean all over finish as you would with powders, but you certainly get a lovely shine. British Rose, this brand is. I must do some research and see if it does still exist. This one is a bluey sparkle. Oh, that's nice. Is anybody old enough to remember Moonlight nail varnish? Back in the 80s, I thought that was the biz. It was very cheap as well. You could buy it in our local marketplace. Right, there we go. because that's what that reminds me of. Now I'm going to put the top back on those. These need to settle for quite a while yet. See, it would have settled quicker if I was using the thinner resin. I think what I might do is get a little brush and move it around a bit. This is a silicone brush. For anybody who's not used silicone brushes, they are really good for resin because you can clean up after yourself so easily. You don't wreck your brushes. Some things I do use regular brushes for, other things I use these. Right, I'm going to clear off and leave these for a bit, just to let them settle. And then I shall come back and zap them with my ultraviolet light. Because I don't want light getting on them at the moment, I'm going to put something dark over them. And this mucky mould that needs covering, that needs cleaning, that'll do for now, I think. Oh, no, hang on, I know. My little doming mat. Let's put that over that side and something over the other side. Don't know. Anyway, I'll see you shortly. Okay, they've settled. It only took a minute. Obviously, like I said, if we'd been using the regular resin, it wouldn't have needed to wait for it to settle. Alright, now I've got to decide what to do with these two, whether to go with clear or black or what. I'll come back to those. First thing to do though is to cure these up some. Just to thicken. Oh, actually, this is quite thick anyway, isn't it? So no, I won't bother curing them up first. I'm going to pop the little heart in here. Remember, this is origami paper. There's a whole video on these, so feel free to go have a look at that. And yeah, let's get in with the fruit. So, tweezers first of all. So, are these raspberries? I think they're raspberries. Yeah, they're not going to sink anyway, so I don't need to wait for it to cure. There we go, another tip for the use of these thicker resins. Stuff doesn't sink. Can't get the lid off the little fruit one. Oh, there we go. The little melon pieces. You see the little melon pieces? Aren't they sweet? So we're going to have some little melons in this one. I believe these are made from polymer clay. It's amazing the array of nail art stuff that you can use in resin that's available out there. So, you know, have a good search. You'll be surprised what's actually available. Kiwi slices, and I think these are cut open strawberries. So let's go for some of these. Yes, the strawberry slices, aren't they? There we are. Let's have a bit of kiwi fruit in these as well. It's quite tropical, this, isn't it? It's making me want sangria, that's the problem. I need a holiday, don't I? There we are. Now what I'm going to do is cure those layers up. Once this paper has soaked up the resin. I could cover that up, couldn't I? Yeah, let's cover that one for a sec. Because I want to kind of make it 3D. And I do want to cure these two, and I'm going to go for this one at the end as well, I think. Because I do want to see what the nail powders look like. If, yeah, look, that's starting to cure even though it's had a shot of my light. Some of my light's obviously getting round. So that's all a gloopy mess. That might be interesting to see what the flakes go like on, actually. So let's get those cured up. That one in particular. I'll put you a link for the UV lamp as well. I know many of you will have seen this little fella before. Clipped on the edge of the desk, makes life nice and easy for me. Right, has that cured? Yeah, it's very powerful as well. So it's fast. Right then, so with these I'm going to get the, let's have the pinky one, and push that onto the back of this resin and see how it behaves. I'm wondering if we'll get a nice sort of crinkled effect. Still don't know what colour backing I'm going to put on these. See, that is very different to the effect that I've got over here with the same stuff. Interesting. Interesting, Mr. Bond. Right. Pop the lid back on that one. Yes, I was going to carry on along here, wasn't I? Now, let's stick some random flakes. When I say random, look, TL Mix Shards, that's my initials. It's just all little flakes and bits that I've gathered in various pots over the years. Bits of leftovers from nail art projects and various other bits and pieces. So it's not a specific brand. There's loads of these out there. I just chucked it all into one pot. I think there's even some little snowflakes in there. Right, so that's that one. And this last one, what should we put in there? I can uncover this now as well. What should we put in there? Let's go oranges and lemons. I said I wouldn't do oranges and lemons because we've been doing oranges and lemons, but never mind. There we are. Now I'm going to pop another layer of the resin in now. Then we're going to cure all those off. Still thinking about what to do with these. I might just go in with clear because we always use black, don't we? And I'm thinking it'd be nice to see actually what it does with clear. I know the colours won't pop as much. Gosh, this stuff's thick. It's really difficult to squeeze out of the bottle. Shout out to Steve McDonald for drawing this to my attention. This thicker version of UV resin. They do a thin one as well, which I'd imagine for most jewellery uses is probably the way to go. This is really just, as I said, intended for doming, which it does work very well for. You'll see how thick this is. It's the surface tension on it's amazing. Okay, so just putting another layer in here. What I'm wanting to do, you see, is kind of layer them up a bit, make them a bit 3D. This one I'm actually going to fill up. If anybody's really into making hearts, I've got a couple of absolute marathon videos that I did around Valentine's Day. Loads of different silly ideas for doing hearts. I made a load of pocket hugs and things like that. Again, I'll do some sticking links in for you. I'm going everywhere with this. It's going to be all over the place. You know what? I'm going to try and swap tops on that other bottle because I'm thinking that's a waste of the extra thick one. I wonder if I can just cut the end off this top for now. I have got some spare tops somewhere, honest. Right, back in with the runny one because I think I want to see what these look like. There we go, with just the clearing. So can you see that's a lot runnier? Obviously it's coming out of the bottle a heck of a lot faster as well because I've now cut the end off, which has made the hole bigger. But you know, way to go. This bottle's nearly finished anyway, so I'm not too concerned. Ah, there we go. So we'll see what those do, and I'm going to put that somewhere where the sun won't get on it. Right, now what I wanted to do was put more layers into these, wasn't it? Let's have some limes. Oops, didn't really want that in there. So there we go, we're building up, and it should be quite 3D because we've done them in layers. You can just put them in and have a single layer, of course. Up to you, do what you like. But this is just fun. We'd take a stage out because you could just chuck it in and chuck your ultraviolet resin on top and done. So yeah, don't be afraid to mess about and try other things. I hadn't tried this till a few weeks ago either. I wasn't actually sure what polymer clay bits would do in resin, if I'm honest. Looks like they do nothing, they're just fine, they're totally fine. Oh, trying to put my little lids back on as I go so I don't lose them everywhere. Right, really, I'm just going to cure these up now. Let's make sure they're all full. Looks like it. That one could do with a little bit more in, which we were doing with a thick one, weren't we? I'm just going to go across them and just top them up. They are pretty much full, so it's only going to take a little bit to dome them off, and I shall just go around with my little rubber brush to make sure that they are domed. Don't forget any overspill I can soon trim off afterwards anyway. So I just wanted to make sure we've got a good cover on the back of these, really. Don't want any little fruit sticking out. Now, I won't be showing you in this video how to put them onto pendants, because if I give you the links up at the top to the videos that show you how to turn the hearts into pendants, there doesn't seem much point in duplicating that bit, so I'm not gonna. There we go, a little bit more on top to make sure those are domed off a bit. I have a feeling the simplest one, that one's going to be my favourite. Right, now what I'm seeing with this resin is that I've ended up with some bubbles on it. Now normally I wouldn't say use a heat gun on ultraviolet curing resin because it really doesn't do a lot. You could use spray, alcohol spray, but if you're doming, I don't think you really want to be breaking that surface tension, and I did want the backs of these to be domed. So I'm just popping them and making sure that the resin reaches out to the edges, which it seems to. There we are. I'm pushing the little pieces in to make sure they're under the surface. Right, here we go. Oh look, I've got a friend. This is what happens when you've got your windows open. Right, I'm just going to cure these up. Might get my bigger lamp actually, because that will do more at once. And then we'll be back for the demold. This is my bigger lamp, by the way. This does, I can hang it from my phone holder. This is my phone that I film this on, and I can hang it from up here, you see. And it'll cover a much bigger area, and it's quite bright, as you can see. So I shall do that. Right, we'll be back for the demold. Right. Now, what I'm having here is that because the resin, the things I've put in the resin are preventing the light getting through it, so we need to zap the back of it as well. So I'm going to put my big light back on, and we're just going to sit them onto the light like so. Now, normally I would just put a mirror under them while I'm doing them with the light, and that is why I kind of forgot. However, I did today want to not blind you with my mirror. Hopefully this isn't blinding you. An interesting bubble thing going up. That's rather nice. I like the interesting bubble. Something interesting to note with origami paper, for those who haven't seen that video yet, bits of it go transparent. Can you see? And then the bits that have got the, oh dear, look at my hand. The bits that have got the more strong colour on don't. So there we are, origami paper for you. Right, now we wanted to see what was going to go on with these, didn't we? Well, that's just giving it like a really weird effect. But they do work. I think that works pretty much like chameleon flakes would. Normally you'd be putting a black background on it so you'd see the colours ping more. But it is interesting to see what these shimmery effects do when you don't put black on the back of them. Now this one was the one I lodged around with the resin, wasn't it? Oh, you know what, that's rather nice. I like that. I'm going to trim that up. Don't forget, while it's soft, you can just go around it with a pair of scissors to trim it up. Or when it's hardened, a nail file. So I think I'm gonna do something with that. That one might end up on a necklace. Right, these are the ones we came for, the fruit. And there we go. And as you can see, because I did it in layers, some resin first, then some fruit, then some more resin, then some fruit, it's kind of 3D. That was the idea. Oops. So it wasn't all just sat on the bottom. Same here. And as I said, if you want to see how to put these onto pendant chains, then have a look at the video, which I'll link at the end for you. I'll put you a few links up actually, because if you like this video, the chances are you'll like a lot of my other beginners jewellery ones too, as well as my hearts ones. Oh, that's nice. I knew it would be, to be fair. I've done a lot of these where you just stuff glitter in a heart. That's really nice. So there we are. I'm going to do some photos of those, get cleared up, and we will sort of see where we move on to next. I've got some videos of, what have we got? We've got one of those giant snails. I'm sure you'll have seen Wendy from Toonfish Crafts doing one of those, or a couple of those actually. Loving Brian, Wendy, Loving Brian. So that'll be coming up later today as well, in all likelihood. So yes, enjoy my take on snails too. Thank you very much to those who subscribed. I really appreciate your support. And yeah, if you'll stick a thumbs up on here for me as well, to let me know if you like these sort of videos, that would be really good, because then I know what sort of things you want. So, you know, let me know. Put things in the comments. I do requests, as you know, so talk to me people. Let me know what you would like to see. Okay, I'll see you for the next one. Thanks everyone again, and bye for now.